all cried out. The father of the teen boy gunned down last evening held nothing back when our news team showed up to his doorstep this afternoon. Still clearly aggrieved, but surprisingly in good spirits, Wellington Francis made it perfectly clear that his son, 15-year-old Anthony Wellington Smith Francis, wasn't perfect.
He was a macho type of little boy. He never backed down from nobody. You know, and like I said, he'd been to school with Donald Davis. He got a lot of fights in school. We had to miss 58 days. You know, he like the internet.
Okay.
He like being on his phone. You know what I mean? He wasn't perfect. He didn't knowledge kids. He like to smoke weed. He like to lie to you, you know?
Yeah.
That's what you know? But he was a no violent type of guy. But if you bring it, you're not gonna back down.
Okay.
You're not gonna go in there and pick it. You know, he wasn't perfect, but I said he wasn't, he wasn't a bad child.
Okay.
He's more like a smooth little boy.
Okay.
Like clothes, like to be clean. Like Polo and Tommy and Sashi and things.
Young Smith was shot just a few feet away from the historic Queen's Staircase and a stone's thrown away from the police headquarters on East Street. According to police, the teen was standing outside a home through Prison Lane when a car pulled up and the occupants opened fire, wounding the young man. He died in hospital soon after.
They tried the Ministry of Education to try to get him to go to school in this district because they wanted him to go to CI. Because he's warm with the guys from Camp Road, and if he's warm from the guys at Camp Road, how you can send him to CI Gibson? And they made us send him there. Like, I don't feel like that's right, you know? So that leads to one thing and another thing, so I don't really know if it's that has something to do with it. We really don't know. The police still investigating, and I am investigating. I'm going to find out too.
Okay.
That's my only child. I don't know how to kid.
Now, when asked what advice he would give parents following this tragedy, the victim's father shared this.
Well, I'd like to say to them, try your best with the children. That's all you can do. You know what I mean? And use certain incidents like this to show your kids they have the whole life ahead of them. They don't have to die young. Try the best to stay on the right track. Let the people the man promise you, 3 score and 10. Live a good, decent life. You know what I mean? Life is beautiful. You know what I mean? Listen to your parents. They've been here before you.
Francis's murder marks the country's third since Sunday. He would have turned 16 in December. With 719 murders occurring in the Bahamas between 2010 and 2015, the National Anti-Drug Secretariat Director and Superintendent of Police, Dr. Charles Mahana, launched a new study on murders entitled Solutions to the Murder Problem today, revealing some interesting findings as NADS looks to reduce the murder rate in the country. Dr. Hanna says the study had 3 main objectives.
First, chapters 1 through 6 presented a descriptive analysis of murder incidents that occurred within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas between 2010 and 2015. During the study period, a host of variables, including incidents, victims, suspects, motives, detection rates, and conviction rates, were collected and analyzed from case files and local criminal justice databases. Secondly, chapters 7 and 8 presents a comprehensive review of literature on the issue of homicide prevention and ways by which detection rates may be improved. And finally, Chapter 9 presents a new murder reduction strategy for the Bahamas based on the findings of the study.
Now, the murder reduction strategy, according to Dr. Hanna, is comprised of 7 key action points.
Number 1, punish the most violent criminal offenders. Number 2, stop illegal guns from entering the Bahamas. Number 3, the establishment of a DNA forensic laboratory. Number 4, dismantling criminal gangs. Number 5, dissuading youths from using drugs. Number 6, increase economic opportunities for at-risk youth. And number 7, increase educational achievement.
Chief Superintendent of Police Solomon Cash says the Royal Bahamas Police Force welcomes the study, which should help them to identify the root of the problem.
We welcome research, and hopefully research such as this would assist us in preparing ourselves in dealing with the crime issues in our countries. We recognize that we cannot do it alone, and it was very thoughtful, and we also accept the research as we partner with Dr. Hanna and the University of the Bahamas.
Dr. Hanna suggested that although some of the recommendations may raise eyebrows, presenting them provides a space for policymakers to take a fresh look at the national issue of crime. The book was launched in conjunction with the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the University of the Bahamas. A free copy of the study, Solutions to the Murder Problem, can be downloaded from NADS website, www.bahamas.gov.bs/NADS. In news now from Parliament, the opposition leader expressing deep concern over allegations that the former government committed a criminal offense. This, of course, stemming from comments Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest made in a statement last week regarding the $150 million the Christie administration borrowed for hurricane relief. Mr. Turnquest alleges the former government diverted $40 million for unauthorized spending on a number of things in an ultimately vain effort, he said, to buy an election win. The DPM further charged that the money most likely went to PLP cronies and other wasteful spending. Firing back, Progressive Liberal Party Chief Philip Davis said such comments goes beyond being just untrue.
That is the concern, is whether government acted responsibly and in a timely fashion to avert what is now the present danger, and in addition, and whether someone intervened to prevent them from. I think that the allegation is that the police did not permit them to take precautionary measures to avoid and to avert.
Well, the government today pushed ahead with its plan to amend the Constitution to establish the office of an independent director of public prosecutions, referencing Canada and the Constitution of Barbados. The government's hoping to remove any potential conflict where a political appointee is allowed to decide who will be prosecuted. But opposition leader Philip Davis sees the proposed law as no more than a formality. Mr. Davis also took issue with the use of the words independent and contemporary, charging that the amendment is neither. The government also today tabled amendments to the Civil Aviation Act, Companies Act. In fact, Mr. Davis reminded that when funds come into the government, they also go into the Consolidated Fund. House Speaker Halston Moultrie has promised to examine the claims and that if a case has been made, refer it to the Committee on Privilege. Mr. Davis sits on that committee along with South Beach MP Jeffrey Lloyd, Yamakra MB Ellsworth Johnson, and Mount Moriah MP. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.